sake, since we're in this particular item. The rental agreement contract was developed at my request by the Parks and Recreation Committee. This is the draft that they came up with. They submitted it to staff. Staff reviewed it, the attorney reviewed it, made changes as appropriate, sent it back to the committee, continued to review it ourselves. The committee did not have a quorum when they were supposed to review it, so they could not take any action on it. That's why it's not listed as an action under there. On the information sheet, you notice there's not approved yes, no from them. This is for discussion. You still have, if you feel that it's ready to go, then it can be approved tonight. If you have concerns about it or issues, that's what this is for, to discuss. I know that Dana had a few minor comments on it that didn't get picked up in previous drafts. So I don't know if you want to touch on those.
I think, I don't even know that they...
For town council, and not expressly in this document, but I would suggest that the council consider a policy that the following agencies are basically exempt, which would be Summerfield Elementary School, or County Schools, Guilford County itself, and then the three organizations that make up the Community Center Incorporated, Civitans, the VFW, and the Grange, would be exempt from rental fees because we are essentially using their facilities to provide this park, and it seemed redundant to charge those organizations specifically. And that's just a policy. It's not in this document. It's something to think about, and if you want to suggest that we move forward on something like that, it's a separate policy. It's just a blanket statement. But those organizations are exempt from fees.
The same Summerfield 17?
So the original.
No, I know.
They don't exist.
The
Garden Club.
the Garden Club, the VFW, and the Grange are the three organizations.
No, VFW is not an organization.
Right. I'm sorry, did I say 17? I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
say that.
you did.
I meant to say the Garden Club,
Okay.
the Grange, and the VFW.
VFW
It's the ones that own them.
The VFW is not a member of it. They're just in it.
I would include the VFW anyway.
Yeah, I would
All the
too.
same
They're
organization.
not part of the community.
Okay, so we're going to waive the fees for
Well,
them?
that's my suggestion. That would be a separate policy, but I just throw that out there as something to think about. It's not in this policy specifically, but that's, on that right to waive fees, those were the types of organizations that I was envisioning having their fees waived.
I really think it should be included in this. People shouldn't have to look at two documents to see whether fees are going to be waived or not.
Well, I
And
didn't,
in what other instance would you consider fees, even entertaining fees being waived?
I think if we waive the fees, it should be at your discretion.
well, that's what this is establishing, is that the town manager and council can waive the fees. The reason why I didn't put them in specifically into here is that it seemed a little extraneous to this document as to why those organizations are getting exempt. Right. I mean, it could be put in there. It was in there one time, but it felt like it was a separate policy situation.
It's public money we're talking about. If there's going to be any waiver of fees, it should be specified somehow. I mean, it shouldn't be subjective, it should be objective.
Well, it comes into play when an organization, for instance, is offering to put on an event, a community event for the citizens, and the council or the manager would want to waive fees. And of course, we wouldn't know in advance if that was going to happen, but somebody may present the idea. That's why it was kind of left open, just in case that happened.
And I was involved in this too. Not to use the tragedy as an example. The lady who just died of leukemia, I believe, she was to have, her family wanted to use it. She was a volunteer at the town. That may be something the council wanted to take into account and waive that fee. So rather than making exclusive, leave it open is my suggestion. Do it as a case-by-case basis, and we left it with the manager or the council so that you can decide.
Yeah, well, I certainly don't disagree with the waiver. I'm just concerned about possibly selective enforcement or something. That's what I want to avoid. You know what my concern is, Bill. You know.
Yes, ma'am.
Cancellations are built into this as far as, what refunds would be available or not available. So that's the actual agreement, and then along with that comes the rules, regulations, and policies. And essentially, it's a series of things that are not available for use in different facilities. That the applicant or renters must be present at the event for its duration, and a written plan of the event is either the amphitheater or as required by the town must be submitted to the town clerk no later than 30 days prior to the commencement of the event. That the plan includes attendance, vendors, security concerns, special concerns, use of electricity, setup, cleanup, parking arrangements, all of those are part of that plan. And this is for, for big events, where there's going to be 100, 200, 300 people planning to be there, where they need to give us that type of information.
Does it say, I looked through here and I might have missed it, and there's a reason I'm asking. Does it have any age requirement if someone is having a party at the picnic shelter? Because we've had that problem here where we have 30 or 40 underage kids and only one chaperone and the police had to come. Does this address something like that?
Well, it does it in maybe a roundabout way, in that it makes a request, first of all, there's a request, first of all, that you have to be over 21 to rent. And then there's expected number of attendees, adults and children.
And the person who rents has to
And-
stay.
Right, and the person who rents has to stay with the event, and then there's provision in here that there is, that the town can decide whether they need additional security. So if it's a nighttime event and it's for 50 kids, we'll tell them you have to hire an off-duty sheriff. There's also provision in here that we would notify the sheriff's department of any event going on, ask them to do a patrol, and they have the authority, and we'll have to work this out legally, but that they have authorization to go on our property and close down an event that's violating any nuisance ordinance.
And my other question is, if this is about events in the park, why doesn't the Parks and Recreation supervisor handle this?
Well,
As
there
opposed
would
to the
be-
town manager?
There would be for the process, the actual event.
The application process and approval.
Yeah, that's all getting done by staff, whether it's George or Valerie or whoever. Just that there's certain places where I want the highest staff member available to make a decision on something. So the town manager can waive the fee, not the town clerk or the park supervisor. So that's what's being proposed. And then there's, of course, there's a checklist at the back of it, as far as going through the cleanup of it, making sure that everything's cleaned appropriately.
How far ahead in advance can you rent facilities? There's nothing in there about that.
How far in advance?
Right.
I don't know if there would be a need to establish a time, how far out someone can do it. I don't know if that's an issue.
Well, it's an issue as to the refund. 30 days notice
Right, so-
for refund. So are you still going to do a yearly thing? You can sign up on January for, if you want to rent the park in December, there should be some kind of
Okay.
appointment making
But how far out?
reservation.
How far out is it reasonable to allow someone to make a reservation? A year?
Yeah, because you said you can have weddings here, and people might want to rent the amphitheater for weddings, and usually you do that 6 or 8 months in
Right.
advance.
I didn't have an issue with someone wanting to rent it longer, doing it 6, 8, 12 months in advance.
What was the issue? I missed that on the
There,
refund?
it doesn't say in here how far ahead in advance you can rent the policy, and I think that, rent the facilities, and I think that should be there. So some people in January may decide they want to rent something for December for Christmas.